There is something you need to understand if you want to become mentally stronger. Most of the things you worry about today, most of the conversations you replay in your head, most of the people whose opinions keep you awake at night, they probably aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. And strangely enough, that is not bad news. It is freedom. You walk into a room and wonder how you look. You send a message and keep checking your phone because they haven't replied. You post something online and secretly watch to see who liked it. Someone looks at you differently, and suddenly you're wondering what you did wrong. Someone doesn't invite you somewhere, and you spend the entire night asking yourself why. Someone criticizes you, and their words stay in your head for days. But here's the uncomfortable truth. People are busy thinking about themselves. They are worried about their own problems, their own appearance, their own money, their own relationships, their own failures, their own future. And while you are spending hours wondering what they think about you, they may have forgotten the conversation completely. Think about that. You could spend an entire night feeling embarrassed about something you said, while the other person is already asleep and thinking about something completely different. This is one of the greatest traps of the human mind. We imagine that everyone is watching us, everyone is judging us, everyone is remembering our mistakes, everyone is paying attention. But most people are simply trying to survive their own lives, and once you truly understand this, something changes. You stop performing, you stop explaining every decision, you stop trying to impress people who were never paying that much attention in the first place, and you finally start living for yourself. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. They knew that one of the greatest forms of freedom was learning to separate your life from the opinions of other people. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor. He had enormous power. People watched his decisions. People praised him. People criticized him. People wanted things from him. And yet, again and again, he reminded himself not to become dependent on the approval of others. Because the moment your peace depends on someone's opinion, you have given that person control over you. And most people don't even realize they are doing it. They give strangers control. They give co-workers control. They give friends control. They give people on the internet control. They give an ex control. They give someone who rejected them control. A person can say one sentence, and suddenly, your entire mood changes. Why? Because you decided their opinion meant something about your worth, but it doesn't. Someone's opinion of you is information about their perception. It is not a final verdict on your value. And this is where your real transformation begins. Stop trying to be seen. One of the most exhausting things you can do is constantly try to prove yourself. You want people to know you're intelligent. You want people to know you're successful. You want people to know you're a good person. You want people to understand your intentions. You want people to know that you didn't mean what they think you meant, so you explain, and explain, and explain again. But here's the problem. The more desperate you become to make everyone understand you, the less peaceful you become. You cannot control someone's interpretation of you. You can explain yourself perfectly, and they can still misunderstand you. You can treat someone with kindness, and they can still call you selfish. You can work hard and someone can still say you're lazy. You can stay loyal, and someone can still accuse you of not caring. You can do everything right and someone will still find something wrong. So why are you giving yourself the impossible job of controlling every opinion? Let people misunderstand you. That sentence alone can change your life. Let them misunderstand you. You don't have to attend every courtroom where your character is being discussed. You don't have to defend yourself against every accusation. You don't have to respond to every person who decides they don't like you. Sometimes the strongest response is simply continuing to live your life. You are not the center of everyone's world. This may sound harsh, but it is actually comforting. You are not the center of everyone's world, and neither am I. Most people have their own private battles. The person you think is judging your appearance may be worried about their own. The person you think is laughing at you may be insecure about themselves. The person you think has everything figured out may be terrified about what happens next. Everyone carries something, you just don't see it. Social media makes this even worse. You look at someone's pictures and think they are happier than you. You see someone's success and think they are ahead of you. You see their relationship and wonder why yours isn't like that. You see their lifestyle and feel like your own life isn't enough, but you're comparing your entire life to someone's carefully selected moments. You are looking at the highlight reel while living through the behind the scenes, and then you wonder why you feel behind. The Stoic response is simple. Come back to your own life. Your job is not to win someone else's race. Your job is to become better than the person you were yesterday. That is enough. Stop chasing approval. There is another trap that quietly destroys confidence. People pleasing. You say yes when you want to say no. You stay quiet because you're afraid someone will be upset. You accept disrespect because you don't want conflict. You change your personality depending on who you're around. You pretend to like things because everyone else does. You apologize even when you did nothing wrong. And slowly, you lose contact with yourself. You become so focused on being liked that you forget to ask whether you even like the person you're becoming. This is not kindness. This is fear disguised as kindness. Real kindness does not require you to abandon yourself. Real confidence does not require everyone to approve of you. And real self-respect means understanding that sometimes disappointing another person is better than betraying yourself. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to leave. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to outgrow people. You are allowed to protect your time. You are allowed to stop explaining yourself. And you are allowed to build a life that other people don't understand. The person who rejected you is not your judge. Let's talk about rejection, because this is where many people lose themselves. Someone doesn't choose you, and suddenly you question your worth. Someone leaves, and you start thinking you weren't enough. Someone chooses another person, and you compare yourself to them. But rejection does not automatically mean you were inadequate. Sometimes people simply want different things. Sometimes timing is wrong. Sometimes values don't match. Sometimes someone doesn't recognize what you bring into their life. And sometimes the door closes because you were never supposed to stay there. Stop treating rejection like a measurement of your value. A restaurant can be incredible and still not be what someone wants for dinner. That doesn't make the restaurant worthless. It means the preference was different. The same is true with people. You don't need everyone to choose you. You need the right people to recognize you. And even then, your worth should never depend entirely on being chosen. The strongest person in the room is not always the person everyone wants. Sometimes it's the person who can walk away without begging to be wanted. Never beg for what should be given freely. This is one of the hardest lessons to accept. If you constantly have to beg someone for attention, beg for respect, beg for honesty, beg for affection, beg someone to stay, you are not building a relationship, you are negotiating against yourself. And every time you beg someone to give you what they don't naturally want to give, you teach yourself that you must earn basic respect. You don't. Love should not require you to destroy your dignity. Friendship should not require you to constantly prove your value. Respect should not require you to beg. If someone wants to leave, let them. If someone doesn't appreciate you, stop performing for them. If someone repeatedly shows you that they don't value your presence, believe their behavior. This doesn't mean becoming cold, it means becoming clear. There is a difference. A Stoic does not say, I don't care about anyone. A Stoic says, I care about people, but I do not surrender control of myself to them. That is strength. Learn to be alone. Another reason people become obsessed with other people's opinions is that they are afraid of being alone. They need constant messages, constant attention, constant validation, someone to talk to, someone to approve of them, someone to make them feel important. But if you cannot enjoy your own company, you will become dependent on people who may not deserve that much access to you. Learn to sit alone. Take a walk without your phone. Eat alone sometimes. Think without immediately looking for someone's opinion. Spend time learning who you are when nobody is watching. At first it may feel uncomfortable. Then something strange happens. You begin hearing your own thoughts again. You realize what you actually want. You realize which relationships are genuine. You realize which habits you developed only to impress other people. And slowly, You become comfortable with yourself. That is when loneliness loses much of its power, because being alone is not the same as being abandoned. Sometimes being alone is where you finally meet yourself. Stop explaining your every move. You don't need to announce every change. You don't need to tell everyone your plans. You don't need to explain why you're working quietly. You don't need to convince people that your goals matter. Work, improve, build. Let the results speak later. There is a strange confidence that comes from keeping some parts of your life private, not because you're hiding, because you don't need an audience. Some people announce their goals because they want applause before they've done the work. But real progress is often quiet. Nobody sees the early mornings. Nobody sees the failed attempts. Nobody sees the hours you spend learning. Nobody sees the moments when you almost quit. And that's okay. Your growth does not become more valuable because someone watched it happen. Stop taking everything personally. Someone is rude to you. Maybe they had a bad day. Someone doesn't reply. Maybe they're busy. Someone disagrees with you. Maybe they simply see things differently. Someone criticizes you. Maybe there is truth in it, or maybe there isn't. But you don't need to immediately turn every event into a story about yourself. This is where emotional discipline matters. Before reacting, ask, do I actually know what this means? Most of the time, you don't. Your mind fills in the missing information. And then you react to your own assumption. Someone looks at you strangely. You think they dislike you. Someone doesn't invite you. You think they hate you. Someone replies with one word. You think they're angry. But none of these things are facts. They're interpretations. And Stoicism teaches us to examine our judgments before allowing them to control us. Pause. Observe. Then decide. That tiny pause can save you from hundreds of unnecessary emotional battles. Your life gets better when you stop performing. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you don't have to impress anyone. You don't have to look perfect. You don't have to have the perfect career. You don't have to make everyone happy. You don't have to prove that you're successful. You don't have to win every argument. You don't have to convince everyone that you're a good person. You simply have to live according to your values. Imagine how much energy that would give you. The energy you used to spend worrying about opinions could go toward building your future. The energy you used to spend arguing could go toward learning. The energy you used to spend chasing someone could go toward becoming someone you respect. The energy you used to spend comparing could go toward improving yourself. This is why not needing approval becomes a form of power. You stop wasting energy on things you cannot control, and you begin investing energy in things you can. Your habits, your character, your work, your health, your relationships, your decisions, your response to difficulty. That is where your power actually lives. The world will keep testing you. Don't expect this lesson to make life easy. People will still criticize you. Someone will still misunderstand you. Someone will still reject you. Someone will still talk behind your back. Someone will still try to make you feel small. The difference is, you won't have to follow them into their emotional world. You can hear criticism without becoming criticism. You can experience rejection without becoming rejected. You can lose someone without losing yourself. You can fail without deciding that you are a failure. You can be misunderstood without desperately trying to correct everyone. That is emotional freedom. Not becoming a person who feels nothing. Becoming a person who chooses what deserves a reaction. Because you will never control what people say about you. But you can control how much space their words occupy in your mind. And that is enough. The final lesson. One day, you will realize something. The people you spent so much time trying to impress were never going to live your life for you. They won't wake up in your body. They won't carry your regrets. They won't build your future. They won't live with the consequences of your choices. You will. So why are you allowing people who only see a small piece of your life to make decisions about your entire identity? Why are you letting one comment destroy your confidence? Why are you allowing one rejection to define your worth? Why are you letting someone who left your life continue living inside your mind? Let them go. Not because they were necessarily bad, not because you hate them, but because your future deserves more attention than your past. The Stoics understood something that modern life constantly makes us forget. You have limited attention, you have limited time, You have limited energy. Spend it carefully. Don't spend your life monitoring who likes you. Build something instead. Don't spend your nights wondering who is talking about you. Sleep. Don't spend your mornings comparing yourself to strangers. Work on yourself. Don't chase people who have already shown you they don't want to walk beside you. Walk forward. And don't confuse being unnoticed with being unsuccessful. Some of the most important work in your life will happen when nobody is watching. Your character is built in private. Your discipline is built in private. Your confidence is built in private. Your future is built in private. And one day, people may see the result. But by then, you won't need their approval anymore, because you will already know who you are. That is the real power. Not making everyone care about you. Not making everyone respect you. Not making everyone understand you. The real power is reaching the point where you no longer need them to. You can care without clinging. You can love without losing yourself. You can listen without obeying every opinion. You can accept criticism without allowing it to destroy you. You can walk away without begging. You can be alone without feeling worthless. And you can live quietly without needing the world to applaud. So the next time you find yourself wondering, what do they think about me? Stop, take a breath, and ask a better question. What do I think about the person I am becoming? That question matters, because their opinion is outside your control, but your character is not. Their attention is outside your control, but your focus is not. Their approval is outside your control, but your self-respect is not. Their decision is outside your control, but your next decision is not. And once you understand that, you stop chasing control over the world. You start mastering yourself. That is where Stoic strength begins. Not when nobody can hurt you, not when nobody rejects you, not when everyone respects you, but when you realize that your peace was never supposed to depend on any of those things. You were giving away power that was yours all along. Take it back, quietly, without announcing it, without proving anything, without asking anyone for permission. Build your life, protect your mind, choose your people carefully, let the wrong people leave, let the right people stay, and most importantly, stop living as if everyone is watching. They aren't, and that is one of the greatest freedoms you will ever have, because when you stop trying to be seen, you finally have the freedom to become who you actually are.